Today's October the 20th, and this is part 58 of our study of the ministry of Jesus. Well, today we want to look at 10 lepers. Now, if you remember back over in part 24, we looked at a man that had leprosy. And leprosy, we said, was a terrible, terrible disease. It was slightly contagious. The problem with it is incubation period is not hours or days or weeks or even months, but years. Average incubation period is around 5 years. So people never know exactly where they contracted this disease. It affects skin, sores that will never heal. It affects the nerves, lose feeling. The sores don't have any feeling and can lose feeling in the feet and legs and arms. It also affects the respiratory system. It eats the cartilage, so the nose flattens out and the fingers and toes become shorter. Just a horrible, horrible disease. Now, they were required a leper was required to warn people so they didn't come close to them. They'd put their hand over the mouth and would yell, "Unclean, unclean," so people would be warned not to come close to them. Now, lepers, of course, lived together because once they were pronounced leprous, they could not live with their family anymore. They had to go outside of the city and live. So they would group together. Now, this day, Jesus is, I'm not sure, either in Galilee or in Samaria. It says he went through both, and it just has a certain city. It doesn't say what city it is. There were 10 lepers that came, and they didn't come close to him, but they hollered at him and said, "Have mercy on us." And so Jesus just simply said, "Go show yourself to the priest." Now, what was that all about? If you remember, a priest had to be the one that would say whether or not it was leprosy. And once he pronounced them leprous, then they were put out away from their family and away from everyone else. And when the disease left, then they had to go to the priest, and he pronounced them clean. And then they had to make an offering, 2 birds, remember. They had to offer, kill one and dip one in the blood of the other one and let it go and so forth. But anyway, they had to go to the priest because he pronounced them clean. Then they could return back to their family. But leprosy is not really the point of this study today. So Jesus said, "Go show yourself to the priest." And so all 10 of them headed off, I assume, to Jerusalem, to the temple, to get a priest to pronounce them clean. And while they were going, all 10 of them were cleansed. Their leprosy, all 10 of them left them. One person turned around when he saw he was clean and glorified God and came. Matter of fact, it says in a loud voice he glorified God. And he came and fell on his face at Jesus' feet and thanked him and thanked him and thanked him for what he had done. And Jesus said this. He said, "Were there not 10 cleansed? Where are the 9? 9 other ones were cleansed, but they were not thankful enough to come back and thank Jesus for what they'd done, the greatest gift they'd received." But this man, this lone man, turned out he happened to be a Samaritan. Remember, the Jews had no dealings whatever with Samaritans, but obviously, since they were all lepers, they accepted this man into the group, even though he was a Samaritan. But this hated man, hated Samaritan, is the one that returned and gave thanks to the Lord. Okay, what's the point that we want to make today from this? And I think the reason Jesus included this was this. How many times have we been blessed and blessed and blessed and blessed of the Lord? and we have yet to go and say thank you, much less fall on our face like the Samaritan did and cry out in thanks. So let's stop and count our blessings that God has given us, and then let's go and give thanks. The Bible says that the sacrifice of thanks, giving thanks to God, is like offering a sacrifice to the Lord. Let's thank Him for the many, 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 many things He's done for us and the blessings. And I think that's the point that He's trying to make today, is that we are to be thankful. And I hope you are. Well, that's it for today. I will see you again in the morning. Until then, have a great day. God bless you.